All right. It says light crowd. Good evening, everybody. The time is 7 o'clock and we're going to get this meeting rolling. Deb, would you please do the roll call?
Counselor Purser.
Here.
Counselor Parrish.
Here.
Counselor Miller.
Present.
Counselor Hansi.
Here.
And Counselor Kumra.
Present.
Great. Thank you very much. I'm going to ask everybody to rise for a moment of silence to collect your thoughts, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have an agenda, and I grabbed one of the printed ones. Are there any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes to the agenda, Mr. Mayor.
Great. I would need a motion.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay. Deb?
Counselor Purser.
Yes.
Counselor Parrish.
Yes.
Counselor Miller.
Yes.
Counselor Hansi.
Yes.
Counselor Kumra.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great. Thank you. We have one proclamation and one presentation tonight. We're going to start off with a proclamation proclaiming Monday, May 25th, 2026 as Observance of Memorial Day in the city of Fruita. And Todd has volunteered to read this. And then KJ, you're up.
So proclamation, Memorial Day in the city of Fruita, Monday, May 25, 2026. Whereas Memorial Day each year serves as a solemn reminder of the scourge of war and its bitter aftermath of sorrow. And whereas the Congress, in a joint resolution approved May 11, 1950, provided that Memorial Day should be set aside as a day of prayer for permanent peace. And whereas today and every day, let us remember the servicemen and women we have lost, and let us honor them by rededicating ourselves to strengthening our nation's promise. With love, grace, and reflection, let us honor our fallen fellow Americans, known and unknown, who sacrificed their freedom to ensure our own. And whereas the citizens of the city of Fruita desire to honor and acknowledge those who have served in uniform for their sacrifice and preservation of our American way of life. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Fruita City Council hereby proclaims Monday, May 25, 2026 as Observance of Memorial Day in the city of Fruita, and urges all citizens of this community to honor those who have served and paid the ultimate price for freedom. A witness whereof I have unto set my hand and caused to be affixed the official seal of the city of Fruita this 19th day of May, 2026. Matthew Bremen, Mayor, City of Fruita.
Thank you. And Post Commander KJ Klein, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Do I need to turn this? I'm done? Okay, perfect. Counselor Kumro, thank you. Fellow Legionnaire, so good to see you. Thank you, City Council and Mr. Mayor. Recently, my fifth grade daughter, my youngest daughter, had to learn the Gettysburg Address and recite it in front of the class, which brought back a lot of memories. Unfortunately, I don't remember it because it's been well over 35 years since I've had to do that. But I wanted to share a few lines from that I thought were pertinent. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. I thought those words were very poignant and still ring true over 160 years later, or will be 160 years this, 163 years, I think, this July. And so it's an important time to remember what that sacrifice means for us and what it allows us to do as American citizens. And we would like to invite, the Post would like to invite you all out to, or anybody in the community, on this Friday at 9 o'clock. We'll be placing flags on all veterans' graves at Elmwood Cemetery. There's roughly about 400 or so veterans that are buried there. And so it's a great time to see that. And then on Monday, Memorial Day at 11 a.m., we will be having a brief ceremony. Councillor Kumro will be there to say a few words. And so the community is certainly invited to that, to take time to remember that sacrifice before us. Thank you.
Thank you, KJ. Come on up. Thank you. I thought I saw Kayla here. Oh, there she is. She's hiding. Okay.
And she's like, no.
All right. Next up is our presentation from the Fruita Area Chamber of Commerce. It's our biannual update. Kayla Howell, President and CEO, is here to present.
Oh, good evening. Thank you, Mayor, City Council. As he stated, my name is Kayla Howell. I'm the President and CEO at the Fruita Area Chamber of Commerce, and we are here to give you an update on what's been happening in the business community really over the last 2 years. I had sent over a summary of that report yesterday to Shannon, so I'm sure some of you had a chance to read it, and I just wanted to highlight some of the key points from our annual membership feedback survey that we had. We did have a pretty small sample this year. Overall, responses were pretty low across the board. It wasn't just Fruita, it was area wide. So we are working to improve some of our participation moving forward with some additional outreach efforts that I'll highlight in just a little bit. But over the last 2 years, we had 18 Fruita Loma respondents in 2025, and then another 7 in this last just few months that we had the survey go out. And the core story really hasn't changed over those last 2 years. Overall, residents and visitors are leaving Fruita to go spend money in Grand Junction, and our businesses are really highlighting that. And overall, employees are citing that it's hard to find housing in Fruita, which I know is no surprise to you after the housing needs assessment. But these are the 2 main problems that we found across the board over the last 2 years. So some of the top concerns, really what's keeping Fruita business owners up at night, the foot traffic, obviously leaving to Grand Junction, was the single most cited concern across the surveys. Last year, we asked specifically how, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. One noted that people aren't staying in Fruita. Residents drive to Grand Junction for everything, and visitors don't stay in town. And we hear this a lot, that a lot of people will actually just drive to Grand Junction, and they don't know what they can do to keep people here in Fruita. Another thing that keeps them up at night is hiring and retention for employees. We actually just had a survey come back yesterday with a local business that says that that's their hardest part, is retaining employees right now. So it's really frustrating for some of our businesses to find qualified workers, and especially these seasonal businesses, they really struggle. Even technical fields. We had an HVAC contractor that specifically said that they really struggled to find a technician who is experienced. And multiple respondents linked this directly to the housing and the cost of living pressures that we have here locally and across the board. Property costs and tax increases are definitely squeezing the margins for some of these smaller businesses. One Fruita business owner said that there's an insane cost of property right now, tax increases, higher employment costs, decreased foot traffic overall is just a really compounding challenge for our brick and mortar businesses right now. Another issue is obviously the economy and sales are slowing down for them. Just our general economic conditions can be pretty challenging, dealing with that declining consumer spending, reduced business volume. We also heard from respondents that they're slightly more exposed to this here in Fruita than our area-wide respondents. So in Grand Junction, we didn't hear as much of slow sales as we did here in Fruita. It seems to be the case for like retail, restaurant. We had expected things to pick up with the weather being warmer, but it doesn't seem to be that way. Some of our newer businesses asked us, when is it going to pick up? When are we going to see this really pick up this season? And so it's hard to hear that from our local businesses here in Fruita. And then one of the last pieces that were some concerns are the visibility and marketing efforts for our smaller micro businesses. So a lot of our sole proprietors and those small operators said that they want help being found, both by locals and our tourists passing through. One person said, we would love to be busier and have more people know we're open. So that was a direct quote from one of our businesses. Another quote that I wanted to highlight, my business is successful when Fruita has a thriving economy of businesses and residents who want to help support other locals. Finding ways to attract new businesses and new employment opportunities to Fruita will help me. I wanted to point this out because I know that the city of Fruita is really focusing on our economic development efforts, and the chamber really wants to help be a champion of that and have a seat at the table and help support the voice of business in this so that we can look at ways to attract more businesses here and retain those businesses and help grow our Fruita economy. Housing affordability was something I mentioned. It's definitely something that's front and center here for Fruita. We didn't ask a housing specific question in our survey this year, but it was just brought up naturally in a lot of the feedback. So I did want to point out that housing affordability is no longer just a social issue. It's a direct business competitiveness issue. And Fruita employers are losing candidates because their workers can't afford to live here, and residents are losing discretionary spending power, reducing their ability to support local businesses. There was one very direct, constructive perspective that I wanted to share, another direct quote from our survey. It said, I think jobs and housing and cost of living are a key problem for the Fruita area economy. We need to ensure that employees and workers of all ages and career stages can afford to live here. We need residents to have enough disposable income to shop at local businesses. Working with the city and the county to advocate for policies that reduce the cost of housing while creating good local jobs should be a top priority. Fruita City Council wants to see more infill development, ADUs, duplexes, small multifamily, and there's appetite for tiny houses and other creative housing options. Helping the city partner with businesses that can meet these needs would be a big win for everyone. Childcare was not really anything that we saw too much in the survey. It's not a huge issue right now locally for Fruita businesses, but I did include some of that data in the summary overview. Now onto the happy stuff, the more positive things, things that our businesses value the most. They really are looking for more innovative programs and new ways for business resources, which is a top priority for Fruita, versus area-wide networking was a big top most valuable piece that the chamber brings. But our Fruita businesses are looking for more tools, support structures, and not just events to attend. So that's something that the chamber is looking at on different opportunities for us to create different workshops and look with our partners on how we can come up with some innovative solutions to support them. Some of the events that matter most to Fruita, among our Fruita respondents, community events with the local economic development function scored the highest. So Fruita Fall Festival and Fruita Farmers Market were the top events that mattered the most to our Fruita business community. Back in 2025, our Fruita businesses specifically requested more indoor vendor market events during the winter months, so when things are slower, December through February, just to help drive some more foot traffic during those slower months. And multiple respondents also asked for more events focused on bringing shoppers to Fruita rather than networking events among business owners. So that was very unique to Fruita. They want to drive foot traffic here. They don't want to go out and attend events. So, based on the past 2 years of our survey data and some of that open member feedback, we had some different ideas on ways that we could partner with the City Fruita Council moving forward and help support our business community. Some creative ideas and solutions that we have are some storefront and facade improvement grant programs. Even if it's something that's a modest fund, it could really help support some of these local business owners with some grant programs that have high visibility, high impact investment, and really just help support not just the character of our downtown, but overall Fruita business community. More support for ADU, infill, and affordable workforce housing policies. I know that's something that the city's actively working on, and the chamber will continue to be a strong advocate and partner on that. Some Shop Fruita destination marketing campaigns for locals and visitors. I just went off the Fruita Tourism Board after 6 years, and I know that's something that we talk about a lot. And Allie, who is our Senior Vice President, is now on the Tourism Board, and I know she'll continue to work on those efforts. And some of the ideas that we have come up with over the last year off of the Tourism Board is kind of a Choose Fruita First campaign. And we'd really love to move that forward, but what we're running into is just a staff capacity issue of pulling this campaign together and being able to have a direct landing page where we can send visitors to on where they can go to shop for everything. I know the city did some great updates on their website, and we'd love to utilize the city website to have a direct traffic focus for kind of a Shop Fruita campaign. I know that Family Health West has also offered to be a partner in this, where we can put up a poster or different handouts and things like that in their lobbies and in the hospital and all of their different support service offices. But we as the chamber staff just haven't had the capacity to be able to pull that campaign together. So if there's a way that we can partner with maybe the tourism board or the city of Fruita, we would love to help support that program. It's just been challenging for us to do that on our own. And then a winter indoor market vendor event to help drive some of that off-season foot traffic. The outdoor concert series in the winter have been phenomenal. And we actually kind of piggybacked off of that event last year to do the downtown lighting the Friday before Thanksgiving. And we had such great positive feedback from our community. And so our businesses want to see more of that. And long term, we would love to be able to do some type of a monthly off-season farmers market if we had the perfect indoor venue to do that. So that's definitely something that we'd love to partner with the city on to help provide some more indoor off-season events. Some of the things that the chamber is doing based on the responses that we've received from our business community is just expanding the networking and visibility programming that we offer. We're working on some new structured networking formats. We also are exploring some marketing assistant resources for our small and micro businesses through different workshops. We're looking at some social media workshop series that we can do and some additional small business promotion that the chamber can help support and oversee. We also have the Fruita Foundation looking at how it can support our Fruita business community. One of the questions that we had asked our members is what do they want to see our foundation focusing on? And workforce training and employee development was the top response for that. So the foundation is actively exploring programming that we can do in those areas. And then advocacy for business-friendly policies. The chamber will continue to represent member interests at the city, state, and local level. And then I know I mentioned that we had slow response rate this year. So one of the ways that we're working to increase engagement and gather more local feedback specifically, we've launched a member engagement team. And this is made up of members of our board and then members of our ambassador committee. And so these volunteers are helping to go out and connect with a list of target businesses. We have 45 businesses on our list that we hope to reach out to this summer and just gather some key feedback on what they're struggling with, what good things are coming, because we also want to celebrate the wins and the expansions and help understand what they're going through. So we are going to continue to do some more outreach. Face-to-face contact is definitely easier for us because we can have those conversations and we can really build those relationships and start to understand what our businesses are facing. Getting the digital survey feedback responses just haven't been great for us this year. And so we really want to do more outreach and have those face-to-face interactions. So coming soon, we will have even more feedback for you. I did also send over a copy of our government affairs key policy guidelines. I just wanted to briefly highlight some of the Chamber's efforts on advocacy. We have a government affairs committee, and the purpose of that committee is really to monitor what's happening in the legislature and how it's impacting our local business community. This committee can review and make recommendations to our chamber board on different positions that the chamber can take to help support what's in the best interest of our business community. And then the chamber board will then approve whether or not we take a support or opposition of that bill. I did want to point out that the Colorado Chamber recently released a report stating that the state of Colorado is the sixth most regulated state in our nation. And so it's really important for us as a chamber to continue to work with our partners like the state chamber and our local chambers and make sure that we're continuing to advocate on pro-business policies. We do have a State of the Community breakfast coming up at the end of June, June 30th, out at Absolute Prestige Ranch. Mayor Brayman will represent the city of Fruita, and we'll also have a variety of other elected officials there to provide an update on what's happening in our community and how it's going to impact our local businesses. We also, as you know, hosted the candidate forum for Fruita City Council. So those are other ways that we're helping connect our community to our elected officials and understand what's happening. And then coming soon, we are looking at dates that we can invite all of you to do a listening session with our Fruita business community. We're looking at third quarter for that. So that's coming soon. So be on the lookout for those invites. And then I just wanted to highlight a couple of our upcoming events. Fruita Farmers Market kicks off June 13th. It's looking to be one of our biggest years yet, which is hard to believe because last year was it was incredible. So we're really looking forward to another great season. The Fruita Fall Festival is already shaping up. We've got some exciting partnerships that we're launching this year with the Fruita Historic Preservation Board and also the Lower Valley Heritage Room. We're trying to intertwine some of that heritage back into the Fruita Fall Festival. So we're really working with them to be more of a steering committee to help us guide the direction of our local festival. So that's really special to us, especially with this year being the 150-250 celebration. I think it's going to make for a fun event. The theme is Roots and Revelry. So that's going to be some fun intertwined into our festival. The only other piece that I wanted to close with is that we are looking for ways that we can help visitors understand the different events that are happening. I've had a lot of people coming in asking for handouts of events, and more so the Airbnbs. They are just dying to put things in their Airbnbs that can talk about different events that are happening. And I've struggled to find something to give them. So I just wanted to put that out there. If there's something that we can do, the chamber's willing to partner. I know we have great resources online, but if we can publish some kind of a monthly flyer or anything like that, the chamber would be happy to have that in our office so that we can distribute it to the different Airbnb properties and the business community. So that definitely has been something that's been coming up more frequently and happened again today. People just want to know who's playing at the Thursday night concert series and what's happening this upcoming weekend. And I think that's really important for us to make sure that we're staying up to date and being that source of information for our community. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Don't run away yet in case there's questions.
Yes.
Bring it back to council. Questions, comments? I noticed on here you had wayfinding signage. You know, that is something that staff is actively working on.
Yes.
And so part of that will also help with some of the event info. I know it's not the same as what's in the actual Airbnb, but there'll be a little bit more of that.
Perfect.
Question on the tax. I'm a little confused. Were they it's Fruita specific, or is it just, I also saw the study that the chamber, state chamber put out in terms of also the number of businesses that are exiting the state. So, but when it gets back to the tax, is there something specific here in Fruita, or is it the general overall Mesa County?
It's the general overall. We even had a few members cite that the Fruita is actually lower. And so it's overall, it's not specific to Fruita. Property taxes are just driving rent costs up.
I think most of the themes that you touched on are stuff that we are having constant conversations about, which is both, it's reassuring because it's like, okay, cool, we're kind of on it, but it's also a bummer because it's still big issues. But I appreciate seeing that we're kind of all on the same page.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate the solutions that you're looking at because I think a lot of them can be effective. Just a couple thoughts. Like I think it'd be great to have a workshop where we can talk about how we can work together more, specifically to some of the issues, like the winter events. I think how many events? We've had one winter concert. Do we have more than that in the budget this year? It's just the one, but like we can look at the future because that was very successful the last few years that we've been doing it. And so how can we expand it? What can we do? So I think that would be nice if we can somehow get it on a workshop at some point to talk about the future where we can more directly collaborate on certain things. Let's see. One idea, we have a database of contacts for all the short-term rentals. So I don't know what hurdles we may have to go through because of privacy or things like that, but I would assume we have contacts for everybody to where it might be an easy way to communicate and say, hey, here's June's events, here's July's events, and email them back.
Or if we can get it all together, they can pull it.
Yeah.
Versus us kind of going out to them. But I think that as I took it as, it's like, can we get a centralized repository that's easy for them to find and pull?
I was just thinking about what I was thinking was if we email out all these verbos or short-term rental owners or management companies that they can get things printed on their own. So it's not necessarily a cost to anybody but themselves, but if they want to put it in their place, their homes, then they can print it off and update it as it's needed. And so we're feeding it to them. They can deal with that and make it their problem or
I
not.
do encourage everybody to sign up for the updates as well. I try to encourage them to do that because those weekly updates are super helpful for us as well.
We already put out a summer guide. I mean, there is one that's already in existence.
So I guess I'm just trying to say, like, we have this data. How do we get it out? We do have an email list. If that can be an effective support or not, I don't know about that, but I just thought I'd throw that out. But no, I appreciate you coming out and talking about the things. I reiterate, I think it'd be great if we can have a workshop where we can talk about these additional things and update you and talk further about the things that we are working on, so we can work together and not side by side.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And we could invite the members of our Fruita Business Committee to join us for that workshop. We're really trying to spearhead the efforts, but then also put it back on our business community to help support some of these micro events. Because as much as we want to add more, we also are a small team and we can't take on everything. So I think it would be great to invite some of our business members to come out and help be part of that as well.
Yeah.
Would it, Aaron, I just kind of brainstorming, would it make more sense, because it's third quarter with the businesses come in and meet with council.
Mhm.
Would it make sense to move that up, and that is kind of the workshop?
Yeah, that could be a good idea.
Yeah, that would be great. I think that's a great idea.
That'd be nice.
And one of the things, as far as like all the events and everything, just sending out QR codes, you can change a QR code on the back end, but not have that change on the front end,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
and so they
It's like
could,
one dedicated
Exactly.
flyer.
Just short term, you just have the QR code and yes,
That's what's happening in Fruita.
right.
Great
So
idea.
here's what's happening. So it's the same there for them, but you can change whatever events are happening on the back end.
That's a good idea.
So it's not going to change there. So it's less effort on their end. It's less effort. One-time setup.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
no printing costs.
Right.
I was thinking to tag on to that just once we have the kiosk, but however that information gets there, like
There you go.
That's a good link.
Great
QR
idea.
code,
Right.
because that's going to be for business, not just city events, or it's also like businesses too. So I just wanted to tag on
Yeah.
to that
Yeah,
comment.
exactly. So, I mean, it's just more of a streamlined
Right.
aspect to it.
Good idea.
And these are the innovative solutions that the community is looking for. So thank you.
When is that kiosk? When are we looking to get that installed? Because that's this year's budget, right? Hopefully, it could be installed, sometime this summer, and we're hoping to get a lot of these projects done before Fall Festival between the kiosk, but also the co-op tower banners as well. So that's kind of our goal for ourselves for those projects.
Great.
So looking at signage. Help me out, which side?
Hours that way.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job.
Because we've also heard feedback, people don't know we have a downtown. So they're also looking at signage there to help drive traffic over here as well.
Yes, I know wayfinding over on the south side to bring them over to downtown was a big priority on the tourism board. So
I also wanted, if I can say a couple more things. For the Government Affairs Committee, it's not just support or oppose. We also have, I shouldn't say we.
Chamber also has.
Chamber also has. I sit on.
Served there for a
What
long time.
happened?
I served on a Government Affairs Committee for a long time. But there's also neutral and monitor. So it's not just. I just think that that's very important that that's pointed out. It isn't just a hammer or a marshmallow, I guess is the way I'm thinking about it. It's there's also that let's look at it and watch those things that we need to keep an eye on in order that we support the business community, and if it's something changes.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point. And that's something that we're really trying to prioritize is more educational. And obviously we'll take positions on those high impact bills, but our job is really to educate the community on what's happening and then also put that back on our employers so that they can take action on what's going to impact them the most. So thank you.
And I do want to reiterate, it's not just stuff at the state and federal level. I mean, we need to hear on local things that we're discussing up here. If there's an impact and, if they think it's great, love to hear it. And if they don't think it's great, we would love to hear that as well.
Absolutely.
We need that feedback.
Unfortunately, we don't hear a lot at the local level, which I think is a good sign. I think the most recent complaint that I would have, and I don't even know if it's a complaint, but traffic signs and speed limits, that was brought to the chamber's attention. I did pass it along. So, but that's what we hear. We don't hear as much on the local policy side. So I think that does indicate that the city's doing a good job for our business.
Really like to reiterate, we do want to hear that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Do you have more?
Oh, ma'am.
Okay. I have a couple things first. Thank you for getting this to us ahead of time too, so we had a chance to look over it and
Absolutely.
present it. And thanks for taking time tonight to come. I have a couple questions and then some comments. The businesses, the 25 that participated over the last two surveys, were there some duplicates in that 25, or are those 25 completely separate?
For the most part, they're separate. There was some overlap in those, but for the most part, they were a wide variety. I think I highlighted the different industries, so it kind of shows there's a little bit of overlap in there, but yes.
And then, I did read this, but I'm sorry if I missed it. What kind of percentage of the Fruita businesses does that represent?
Overall for chamber membership or of the respondents?
Membership.
We're just below 40% of our membership is Fruita businesses. So we're continuing to grow that, but overall, I'd say about 60% are outside of Fruita of our membership.
Okay. And then, yes, I'm sorry. In the response to the survey, what percentage?
I think I had written down it was about 16%.
Okay.
And I don't know if I put that in yours. Yeah, it was a pretty small percentage. The industry average is about 10 to 20% of our membership, so we were pretty below that for as far as Fruita respondents go.
Okay, thank you. And then, do you have a general idea in the respondents where those businesses, for instance, was the majority of the respondents from downtown, or are they they go to, if they're HVAC, they are going to a place, their office is, that sort of thing?
We have businesses all over Fruita. So, we had some that came from the south side, some that came from the, more of the 6 and 50 area, but the majority of our membership is downtown right now or on the direct south side.
And the respondents for the survey, do you think that those?
I would have to look and see if what that percentage is, but I can definitely follow up.
I'm just curious about if there's a specific area that's hurting more, like, because
Sure.
this sounds like a lot of struggle.
Mhm.
And I just want, if we can be even more specific, if there's more pinpoint that we need to focus even more at, where those, if it spans across all the way, then fine. But if it's more a certain area, I think that'd be good information to know.
Yeah, that's a great question. I can definitely, I'll dig in. We try to keep it more broad,
Sure.
but I'd be happy to look at that and give you some more information on that.
Thank you. And then on the events, when it was asking like what were the ones that they like, those were chamber sponsored events specific or was
Yes,
okay.
chamber sponsored.
Awesome. I love choose Fruita first. I love that
Slogan.
line, and I think it's really fantastic. And yeah, it'd be great. And I get the lack of ability to spread too thin. So hopefully throughout all sorts of partnerships like that sort of can spread. And I just also wanted to throw out, as you probably remember, we tried to do 8-1-5-2-1 Thursdays before.
Yes.
And the ask was like the businesses give some sort of discount. And so it didn't go super well because businesses, if they're already struggling, it's hard to do an ask for that, like give a discount for locals. But I do think 8-1-5-2-1 Thursdays or 8-1-5-2-1 something without having to ask the businesses to give to get people, but trying to get local actual Fruita residents into the businesses is a continual struggle. And I do think that there's some way, if we just brainstorm and really put minds to it, to do that. And then if there was a way to, if the appetite for businesses, like it sounds like it is, Fruita Fourth Fridays is coming up again. And once it originally started where those Fruita Fourth Friday was happening in businesses, not just in a certain area. And if businesses want to start to participate in that way again, the Arts and Culture Board is heading that up still. And I know that they would be super happy to partner. Still probably have the vendors in Mulberry Plaza, but if there's a way to stretch that out and really encourage businesses to stay open later or even start it and the business is like at 4 and then it ends up sort of like when you did the tree lighting and all of that, where the business part was first and then those are just brainstorming ideas.
Who would be the best contact for the Fruita Fourth Fridays?
I currently,
Okay, perfect. We can send out a notice to our Fruita Business Committee and just let them know if that's something that anybody's interested in, and at least we can point them in your direction. So
perfect.
it's a
That'd be
idea.
great.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, again, thank you so much for all of that. And
Yes, thank you.
One last.
I was just going to say, my fellow council people have raised and highlighted all of the issues that I would like to have brought up. I would like to commend the cooperation that I've experienced between the chamber and the city government. It's been a breath of fresh air compared to what I had been exposed to previously in Grand Junction.
Thank you.
Do you had something else?
Yeah, sorry. My brain. When you talked about the winter markets, I was going to say that we held, when I was over in Johnstown and with the chamber over there, we held holiday markets specifically, and we did them like in the school gym, and those were really successful, you know, and so that this might be something also, you know, just tied it in. And one of the things, and this is just giving you an idea, is we sold holiday ornaments, you know, for, you know, now with inflation, they'd be $10 probably, but and it just had whatever the theme was written on it. And then the year, we sold out every year.
Or like collector's items?
Yeah, little collector's items, but it was just something that, you know, and with our town, I mean, our town's, you know, pretty tight. I use that word. Foundation fundraiser.
Great. Yes, I know there's an appetite for a full year-round winter market. Our farmers market vendors are very interested in it. So really, we're just looking at ways that we can collaborate and find a location to do something like that. We've seen it successful in other areas like Montrose. So that's definitely something we're eager to support if we have the right opportunity.
Yeah, put that on the agenda for our workshop.
And we can coordinate with when the business roundtable to have those discussions would be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions before we let her go?
Thanks, Kayla.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Doing a great job.
All right. It's not an easy job. All right. That leads us to public participation and consent agenda. This portion of our meeting is set aside for City Council to listen to comments from the public about items not on tonight's agenda or items that appear on consent agenda. Consent agenda items are those for which all conditions or requirements have been met, and they are typically approved with a single motion without separate discussion. We welcome and value your input to help maintain a welcoming, respectful, and productive environment. We ask that there be no clapping, cheering, booing, jeering, or sign holding. This helps ensure that everyone, regardless of their viewpoint, feels comfortable sharing their thoughts. Each speaker will have 3 minutes, and we ask that you begin by stating your name and whether or not you are a resident of Fruita. If you have materials you'd like to share with the council, please hand them to our city clerk, Deb Wood, so that they can be entered into the public record and distributed appropriately. While council will not respond during this portion of the meeting, please know that we are indeed listening, and we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to participate in this important process. So with that, I'd like to open up the floor. If anybody would like to speak on anything that's on consent or not on the agenda.
Hello, I'm Mackenzie Kimball and I do live in Fruita. And I am here for a very belated update from Fruita for Equality for you all. Karen and I had the goal of coming quarterly and we're making it yearly instead. And Karen couldn't be here tonight, but we just wanted to give you all a little bit of an update on what we've been up to and some things that our community has been really interested in. We have passed our 3rd year of having our monthly community conversations. So we've had over 40, I think, if I'm counting right, conversations on the 2nd Wednesday of the month at Lithic Bookstore about topics that are challenging. Our most recent one was about politics and immigration. We've had topics on gun rights and belonging and Fruita specifically, and the community really seems to be enjoying having a safe, respectful place to get to know folks who maybe have a different opinion than them. So we always invite you all if you want to come join. I know many of you have come at different times to different conversations that maybe pertain to something that is of interest to you, but we plan to continue those. We also had our 2nd year of our event that we call Generations Connect Speed Mingling. And we have the elder generation and a bunch of high school students sit down and kind of like speed dating, get to chat with each other. And community members loved that. I think especially in the current era, it's just hard sometimes for people to connect. So we are planning to continue that. We had close to 40 participants this year and continue to have trouble finding a space where we can spread out enough for people to hear each other. So that's been great. This was also our 3rd year of the community art project we do with local elementary kiddos where they draw what makes them smile in Fruita. If you all ever need a pick-me-up, there are many things that are related to City of Fruita programs and facilities. So if you need to remember that you're doing a good job, the kid art really helps out. I have some on our website if you just need to scroll through them one day. But we had great participation again this year, and we now offer that to every Fruita area school, including Loma. And we have a little setup station in the library for homeschool students if they want to participate. So it's now available to everyone. And that we plan to continue as well. We also this year started working with the Road Rack at Fruita Monument High School and the Equity Council on some of these programs, trying to get the youth involved. We've also partnered with Rocky Mountain Public Media on their Everyday Democracy Conversation series that they hosted. And we continue to partner for Juneteenth events coming up with Black Citizens and Friends as well. So lots of exciting things. And if you all have any interest, check out our website. I'll leave our little conversation things with Deb if you want one. And thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Would anybody else like to come up and speak at this time? All right, with that, I'm going to go.
Able to come up and teach us some crochet.
Right.
All right, let me first close public participation.
Oh, sorry.
All right. With that, we have a consent agenda before us. Any questions or concerns on anything on the consent?
Yes.
Okay. Is it, because I know I had some questions about the easement.
Don't you kick it off?
Different one? Okay. On item F, the first reading and introduction of an ordinance vacating a city of Fruita, the pedestrian easement, who's requesting that?
The applicant is requesting that, so the property owner for that project, which you'll hear on June 16th.
Okay. Is it, I just thought it was strange because reading through this, have no idea, is that who the applicant is?
For the easement vacation, it's Intermountain Health.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then, sorry, I'm just a little bit confused. So they're looking for us to vacate our easement for us so that they can put in a sidewalk. Is that? Thank you, Henry.
Hey, there we go. Hey, all right. Henry Hemphill, Planning Director. This easement is on private property, but there's nothing currently on the easement or in the easement. There's no real public access to it. There's no sidewalk or trail or anything like that. The property owner has requested vacation of this easement in order to work through some site plan construction and has found that the easement is somewhat in the way, but doesn't have any plans of removing the kind of the purpose of what the easement entails. And so it's just to kind of get it out of the way so that the site plan can work more efficiently and effectively. They're also working at vacating a private irrigation easement as well. And so there's a lot of moving parts and pieces, but where we come in is the pedestrian easement that was dedicated to the public.
Right. Those were my questions on that. Anybody else have any questions or comments or concerns?
I more of a comment. I just wanted to commend the work on the wildfire resiliency, the map. I know that was a big project. That's really going to benefit our community. It's kind of one of those silent in the background things that I know a lot of people don't realize the impact that's going to have. So I want to thank the Lower Valley Fire Department and I think our building department too was in on that. So thank you guys for working on that. And yeah, I appreciate it. Big deal.
Any other questions? Todd, did you find what you're looking for?
Still lost. It's okay.
Okay. Well, with that,
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda as before us.
the first and a second, last chance for any questions, concerns, or comments. All right, seeing none. Nope. Last chance.
Does that mean
Well, you have to recuse yourself from,
I need to recuse myself from A and B
Oh,
in the minutes?
good catch.
Got it. Counselor Parrish,
yes.
Counselor Miller,
Yes.
Counselor Hansi,
Yes.
Counselor Kumro,
Yes.
Counselor Purser.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, thank you very much. I'd also like to do a couple of thank yous. Thank you to Christopher Anderson for choosing to jump up and volunteer again for the Historic Preservation Board, as well as Dory Hanley, who's coming off that board for all the work that she's done over the years. And I know I say this all the time, it's our boards and commissions that really help make Fruita Fruita. So always very, very grateful for everybody that's willing to volunteer. All right. With that, we are going to jump forward to action items, which is Resolution 2026-17, approving an intergovernmental agreement, an IGA, providing for regional collaboration for attribution of affordable housing units for the purpose of Proposition 123, unit credit between the City of Fruita, City of Grand Junction, Town of Palisade, and Mesa County. And Henry Hempel, City Planner, is here to present.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Nice to be with you tonight. Before you is a resolution 2026-17. I do not have a PowerPoint presentation. I'd like to keep it short and sweet, as the cover sheet covers the majority of the purpose behind it. But this is directly related to these Prop 123 dollars and the program that we are participating in. If you recall, a few years ago, we had to establish a count of how many affordable housing units we wanted to contribute into our community. That count number was 108. Right now, we're getting to the tail end of the 3-year cycle, and so we now need to start participating in counting those units and actually establishing with the state what affordable housing units actually go towards the 108. In doing so, we've come up with approximately 112. So we're over our commitment line. Plus, we have many extra to kind of share from. The state has allotted many different avenues on which you can use the counts for. One count in particular that's getting us above and beyond, and staff has been working diligently to try to kind of narrow those counts down, are naturally occurring affordable housing units. Something I want to mention is we have 16 total new residential, new construction homes that have been sold in the last year or two that are under the 100% AMI for 3-bedroom unit. And so we are having naturally occurring affordable housing without commitments from Prop 123 dollars or the Fruita Housing Authority or anything like that. So we are starting to see some of those things, but the purpose of the IGA is to share counts with Mesa County, the Town of Palisade, and the City of Grand Junction. Grand Junction is expected to hit their number. I don't know if you've seen in the news that they are expected to hit that number, and the counts are currently being counted for what their units are. Mesa County and the Town of Palisade do need a little bit of help based on conversations that we've had with their planning team, the City of Grand Junction, and Palisade on kind of a team meeting, which is kind of facilitated this IGA. And so initiating this IGA and signing it shows a collaboration of the municipalities and jurisdictions within Mesa County alone, that housing needs is not only a local concern, but also a county and a state level concern too. This also helps our community as a whole continue to move through the next 3-year cycle to help pertain to those affordable housing or those Prop 123 dollars for the next 3-year cycle. So it does benefit us directly and indirectly to have all the communities within Mesa County participate and meet those unit counts. And so that's the purpose of this resolution, is to show that support and be able to attribute those unit count numbers if needed, but we're not obligated to do that. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you. I know I've got 2 questions, but I'll let others go first.
I think just that's great that we have some naturally occurring transactions that qualify for it. It's great that the coming from all different angles.
Anybody else want to go next?
I have a couple questions since I'm new to this part of it. Can you define the difference to me of affordable and attainable?
Well, the state uses affordable housing as a metric. So they use the area's median income, and anything below the 100% is technically considered affordable housing. And so it is maybe somewhat subjective, maybe how you're thinking it, if it is like attainable housing to some might not be affordable to others and vice versa. But the metrics we have to use is data driven. And so the 100% AMI range and below is from a county level is what we get to use to base some of these unit counts on. And so to define affordable and attainable is difficult to do.
Todd, before I messed up, so I'm just going to apologize because after you did it, I should have done public comment. So that is my fault. So I apologize. So with that, I'd like to open up the floor to anybody that would like to come up and speak. Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and close it and bring it back. So I apologize for that. All right, Todd, you're still up if you've got another question.
Did something to my cool, thanks. When I was looking at this, and I was thinking, okay, we're gonna have this agreement between them. I'm trying to understand, like, who's gonna oversee this? I mean, so we have, I'm just trying to understand this in my head. We're doing well, but another municipality is not. And then we keep doing well, and then they keep not doing well. So they're just keep taking from us. And I like the idea of working together. Don't get me wrong, but who's going to oversee and make sure that it's not being taken? We're not being taken advantage of.
Yeah, that's a good question. So they're not just grabbing them. We have to acknowledge the fact that like maybe Mesa County is missing 10 units in order to hit their count. They will ask the city of Fruita staff in specifically, and then we will be able to reattribute some of those counts in order to count towards their number. The city of Grand Junction is also obligated to participate in that, and same thing with Palisade. If Palisade needs 9 units and they ask the city of Grand Junction, or they ask the group, hey, we need 9 units. Does anybody have those that they can share? Then we could say yes. But without this IGA, we could not share. Thus, they would miss their goal, and we would still meet our goal. The city of Fruita would still, and the city of Grand Junction still would, but we'd be leaving 2 others behind when really, like I mentioned before, housing is more of a local need from a county level. As you heard it from the chamber tonight, that having employees be able to live and work near here is important. And if we can share those numbers and help Mesa County get to that next 3-year cycle, maybe that gives them a little bit more leverage to participate in some affordable housing projects with Prop 123 dollars. So it's more of a community collaboration, so to speak. We're not obligated to share anything else that we have, but we're acknowledging the fact that we'd like to help when needed.
I like that. Like I said, I want to do it. I just want to make sure we're not putting ourselves in a position where we're being taken advantage of. Because somebody else is not, pulling their load.
Absolutely. It's good to be protective of the housing that we develop in the city and we spend time and effort and money into. And at the same time, being able to be a partner in some housing opportunities with the county and other municipalities, I think is showing that we're concerned holistically about housing in the county, not just focused on the city limits. But that's going to be like our first effort, is to develop and support affordable housing in whichever spectrum we can, because there's many. There's not just a one size fits all. We're going to focus on that in the city limit.
Just to follow up with that line of questioning, what's the pros and cons of making or not making these numbers as a municipal versus community as well?
If we don't hit our numbers, what's
the benefit? Like, is this just reporting, or what are we trying to obtain with with this reporting back to the state? Like, what's the benefits of having it? What's not? So if, I can see how like the state is looking at regions. They don't necessarily, they look at Mesa County, not Fruita and Junction. They're looking at big. So it'd be just good to talk about the pros and cons of making it or not making those numbers as a city and as a community at large.
Yeah, so I think that the Division of Housing sees us hitting our numbers as something specific, that like we are focused on housing, much like the state is focused on supporting housing in local municipalities, Fruita, Grand Junction, Mesa County, Palisade, all of those alike within the state. It's a benefit to us to hit our number because then we become more competitive for the next 3-year cycle. I think if we don't hit our number, we become less competitive.
To receive the Prop 123.
To receive the Prop 123 dollars that become available with that 0.1% state income tax revenue share. And we're still probably likely to see the outcomes of municipalities not hitting their number. We don't really I don't really understand exactly what's going to happen to other municipalities if they don't hit their number, but they still show support of housing through a housing needs assessment or housing action plan. But I think when we hit our number and we submit our counts and it's acknowledged by the state, and Mesa County is looking for a little bit of help from the city of Grand Junction and Fruita, that is going to show the state that this is a county-wide issue that we're trying to attack together.
I think one other thing, Mr. Mayor, the county has not been as active as the city and the city of Grand Junction and the city of Fruita in trying to generate these numbers, but they do own a lot of land, and so this keeps the private sector able to get some of these Prop 123 dollars vis-a-vis the county still being competitive for applying, but having someone else build the affordable housing. So ours look more like a partnership. Theirs might look more like a pass-through. But it's important that they're able to still support Orchard Mesa and Clifton and other areas of the county, regardless of whether or not they've taken a more direct stance at trying to generate units. So that's one of the reasons why it's a benefit to us.
And if we're over, as this 3-year period closes, we don't get to roll those over. So it's not like it helps us to say, no, we want to hang on to them and bank them for the next, and bank them for the next 3.
Is it just like whatever we're over we can give, or are units being counted twice? Like
Yeah, no, that's a great question.
Okay.
That has been ironed out. Units cannot be counted twice.
Okay. So it's if whatever we're over, then okay, yes, we will share that with you.
Yeah, if we're like 5 or 10 or 50 over, we still, we're still kind of dissecting the spreadsheets, so to speak, of the naturally occurring affordable housing units. And so what that means kind of in a nutshell is the naturally occurring affordable housing units they're based on the number of bedrooms and the sale price. And so the state has allowed municipalities to count units at certain AMI ranges based on home improvements. And so the building permit is linked to the home improvement cost. And if it's a significant cost prior to the sale and then it sells, so if your house gets a new roof and new solar and new everything, and you sell it to me for under 100% AMI per the bedroom allotment, that counts as naturally occurring affordable housing. So our spreadsheet is pretty lengthy, and now we're trying to smush it down based on building permits, building permit valuations, and sale date and sale price and unit bedroom. So Joey, our planner, and then Kelly in our office, they've been working through those, and we have a solid spreadsheet. We've sent it to the state for feedback so we know we're on the right track. We have received feedback. They're mostly based on like, what does NR mean? New roof, or to us, it means new residential building permit, so new home. So we have 16 of those. And if we're at 112 with the Muse and the Oaks, 50 and 62, then we're well over our number. Fortunately, we can't roll it over, but that would be fantastic. Be holding on to those. But July 1st is when the state can actually start accepting and counting the naturally occurring affordable housing units. So we have our spreadsheet. We'll go back to the MLS. We'll get that data, make sure that those properties haven't sold again, because then they disqualify if they've sold more than once between. And so then we can really have a solid number and get our counts in.
Great. Thank you so much.
I'm going from memory, but I think it was page 141, section 3, talked about from memory.
What?
Section.
Wow.
The packet?
Paragraph.
Yeah, it was 141, and because I was looking at this 141, and it was section 3, but it talked about a 3% increase.
Oh, yeah.
But I should have been prepared. And I was confused by what that 3% increase was referring to. All right, watch, it's not going to be page 141.
Is this in the IGA document, the resolution?
Yeah,
So I think the 3% increase is the goal is to increase affordable housing by 9%. So it's 3% each year. And that's why we
if
arrive.
we were at 100 this period, we'd have to be at 109 the next.
Correct.
Okay. So it's not 3%, 1% compounded, it's,
Yeah.
okay.
It's static percentage math.
It's in the, yeah, it's in the IGA. It's
Section 3, yeah.
paragraph 3.
Okay. Very good. Got lucky on that one. Any other questions?
Good job.
All right.
May I move to adopt resolution 2026-17, approving an intergovernmental agreement or IGA, providing for regional collaboration for attribution of affordable housing units for the purposes of Proposition 123 unit credit between the City of Fruita, City of Grand Junction, Town of Palisade, and Mesa County.
The first, is there a second? All right. Any other questions or comments before we vote? Or you all vote? All right, hearing none. Deb?
Counselor Miller,
Yes.
Counselor Hansi,
Yes.
Counselor Kumru,
Yes.
Counselor Purser,
Yes.
and Counselor Parrish.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great. Thank you. And thank you, Henry, for that.
Yes.
All right. Moving along, city manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. Just a few quick updates tonight. So as a reminder, due to Memorial Day next Monday, we actually decided to cancel our May workshop. So there will be no meeting next Tuesday. So enjoy the Tuesday night off, and actually the whole week is off for the most part. So should be good. Our next meeting, so you'll actually have 2 meetings on June 2nd. So the time for the first one is to be determined. So the applications for a city council vacancy actually close on this Friday. So we will send all of the applications once we have them over to council early next week. And then you'll meet on the 2nd of June before our special workshop with Planning Commission and our training with CIRSA to discuss those applications and also to discuss how many candidates you would like to interview. So mostly we're anticipating there'll be a 5:30 start for that June 2nd meeting, but it's always dependent upon the number of applications that we receive. So the off chance you get 200, we might start it a little earlier. I don't think that's going to happen, but you want to always plan for contingencies for sure. So you'll have that, and then we'll have our special workshop meeting with the Planning Commission, and also I'm going to invite all of the candidates who applied for City Council to join us at that workshop training as well. And then tentatively, we have June 3rd set aside for interviews of candidates that Council selects. So Deb will actually compile all the applications and send those over after it closes.
In prep for that meeting, follow the same process which we did last time, is when you get them, kind of read through them, pick your top 3. And that way, when we come back in for that public workshop, it will just kind of help streamline that process.
That's great. So I think we're all set on meetings there. A couple updates from the community center. Our first one, really exciting one. So last Friday, we actually opened our community garden at the community center. So thank you to Mayor Pro Tem Miller and Councilor Hansey for joining us for that. It was such a great turnout. We probably had about 30, 40 volunteers overall. We got plants to plant within the garden. And I think with all the volunteers, especially Councilor Hansey, we were done probably within 10, 15 minutes. But if you haven't been over there yet, the community garden, it looks great. And the mural is also coming along as well. We have Giselle Genova doing the mural, but all of the plants are planted as well. So there's a flower section, which will be the flowers harvested from that will go to Family Health West. We have, veggies as well. So it's going to be a really good addition to the community and the community center. I do want to thank a ton of staff for their help on that. Our park staff did a ton of work. Our engineering staff helped with the project, but our interim Parks and Rec director, Ciara, did so much to get that done, especially by last Friday's groundbreaking or ground planting. So really thankful for all of their efforts with that. I don't know if you saw pictures in the update last Thursday, but we had staff shoveling dirt and filling the garden boxes up until about 2:00 on Thursday. Henry, you looked pretty good with the shovel in that photo, but it was definitely a team effort for sure. So really happy with how those turned out, and really excited to see them in the future. And then unfortunately today we did have to drain the indoor pool as one of our lifeguards was making their normal rounds. They found some broken glass near the climbing wall. So anytime we find broken glass, we actually do have to drain the pool fully. And then once we make sure there's nothing else in there, we can start refilling it. But that usually takes several days because it's about 200,000 gallons of water. So good news, minus the cold weather, the outdoor pool was scheduled to open this Friday or this weekend. So we actually moved our outdoor programming outside. So swim lessons continued. I'm not sure how that went. It's probably a little chilly, but they continued.
Not go.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
Yeah, I do not blame her. But the outdoor pool opened this week, so we'll have some kind of overlap. And we actually had water aerobics too move out there this morning, and I heard it was fine. So despite a little chilly. I will say anytime we do drain the pool, though, we do make sure that it's dechlorinated, and they actually put special crystals in there to dechlorinate the water, and then they actually test it before draining the pool too. So that takes some additional time, but that should be open early next week. So really unfortunate. Those goggles have caused a lot of pool closures recently, but we'll continue to try to educate as much as we can on that and hope that it occurs less throughout the future. Other than that, I think that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council.
Thank you very much. With that, I'm going to go ahead and bring it back to council for council reports and action items. Who would like to go first? Janine. Oh.
Yes. So I had the Arts and Culture Board meeting last week. It went well. Fruita Fourth Friday starts this Friday. The Arts and Culture Board's in charge of that, and we're looking forward to kicking the season off.
What time?
Starts at 6:00, 6 to 8.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and there's going to be live music and arts and craft vendors, and it'll be a good time. And yeah, it's fun to start the season off. And let's see. They are working on a new rubric for the Heart of Fruita, and got some good feedback from everyone that was there, and we'll have that put together. Ciara is going to put together a draft, bring it back to the next Arts and Culture Board meeting, and they will also send that to us just to look over, not to approve, but to have insight onto how that has changed. And then the board will approve it in June, because the call for artists goes out later in June. So that's that trajectory. I know it is crazy, because the idea is then, you have your certain amount, like I think about a month to accept applications, and then vote in August, and then install in September. So that's That's how that plan is going, and they're doing great. And we continue to get applications to continue to fill that board. So be looking at those guys. And then I have my first back to livability again this week. So that's all I've got.
Wonderful.
Just, it was good to participate in the choosing of the banners for the towers.
Yeah.
It was a different process than what I would have expected, but I think it was a good process. Didn't allow for a lot of conversation or talking about it, but at the same time, we each got the opportunity to vote and say what we wanted about each of the contestants. So I'm looking forward to those new banners. That's all I have.
Great. Amy?
I agree. That was a really neat process. I had never been through an art selection process, and so that was really neat to see how that works. Yeah, that was really neat and very cool to see the different interpretations of what was asked for. I think that we chose beautifully. And then yeah, the only other thing I had was the community garden, and that was really great to see because the Livability Commission, has been working on that, trying to get that pulled together for, oh my gosh, a really long time. So it was fun to see a lot of them there, kind of seeing it finally come to fruition. So yeah, really cool. That's all I've got. It was a pretty quiet couple weeks.
I've got a few items. One, in the weekly update, it mentioned there was only one employee that was a high school graduate from Fruita. There's more like a dozen.
At the rec center?
Rec center, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we want to
Sure.
recognize all of them this coming week, because we do have a lot of high school kids that help out there. And
Yeah.
it's great to have them. Have we heard any follow-up with communications with the county on the home out there on 19 Road being in their growth boundaries, but not?
Talking about if it's gone to planning yet on the.
Yeah, I just want to know if we had any communications back from it.
Nothing yet. They requested comments of us for that, so we provided those comments that you saw.
It'd be great to hear whenever we do.
Yep. Yeah.
Last week, Amy and I were at the Enterprise Zone meeting at the university with the community. Very interesting process. We do not have any enterprise zones here in Fruita.
Opportunity zone. Doesn't it? Yeah, opportunity zone. It's different.
And
OZs.
so it was interesting. There's the federal government's pushing really hard, so it's really interesting to kind of watch state kind of run around a little bit, and it's impacting us as we communicate as a community back to the state and then back up to the federal government.
You're talking larger community.
Yeah, because there's definitely some. So what happened is there's in the state, there's over 300 zones, and they've been cut down, and we can only submit 25% of that as a state. And so the federal government has looked at Mesa County and said, okay, you have so many, I can't remember what it is, and they cut it down, and then they need us to cut it down further. And so and some of the places that they did cut are better areas for development and use of these credits. So it's kind of a rush to get it done. So it's interesting just because it's hard to move forward. So trying to encourage non-governmental entities to help facilitate things like Grand Junction Chamber, GJEP, BIC, wherever they can to help facilitate that so there can be some utilization in our community. Today came out some articles on Ute water and implementing droughts. And it's kind of sad how it's not being very well communicated within the article from Grand Junction Sentinel. So I don't know how much we need to communicate or how much we can more, because it's, the article really said there's going to be some pay charges that increase, but they never mention it. They don't even link where you can go get it. So it's kind of a
Sure.
poorly written article.
No clarity of what that.
And it doesn't say if you use normal water use, which is less than there's a 0 to 3,000, which I think most people are at. There's no rate change. So I don't know. It's unfortunate because there's going to be some fun communication. So I expect the calls to come to us.
At all? Water?
Yeah, I forwarded what they sent us yesterday. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
Did you send it to us?
Yes.
Sure.
Matt's not the only one having email issues.
Looks up here.
I didn't get it.
3:47 p.m.
347?
Yesterday
Yes.
from you.
Yes.
Did not come to me.
Nope, didn't get it. Didn't get it.
Well, I won't check. I didn't get it either. So, the last thing that I have, or are we still talking to you?
If
Or are we off of it? I'm done. I don't know if anybody else had Ute related.
you kind of got what I was bringing up. I just like see you still looking at your watch.
Oh yeah, and
We
we
just got
will.
an email from Shannon at 8:21.
It's so funny. So we also updated our website right on the homepage. There's a drought response update. So we will update that with this information as well. But yeah, it does, as you were sharing, kind of go into rates will be escalated after you go over a certain percentage of water use, starting with 1.5 times, then up from there.
I wish they would just communicate with.
We push something out and on the Friday, as I'm sure a lot of people don't read the Sentinel.
Yeah.
In this case, so hopefully not.
Oh.
Because we don't need to be alarmed. Like,
Yeah,
we don't need to be alarmist. Like most people, it's not going to impact. Just be smart. And if you use normal rates, you're not going to be paying $17 extra per.
And
unit.
I'm assuming you will send something out to all their users, but that's an assumption and we
can help
the more hit
communicate.
it better.
Oh.
All right. What else you got, Aaron?
The last one is, fortunately, unfortunately, I will be out of town the first full week of June during our interviews. So I'm hoping that we can facilitate something to where I can participate remotely. But only time to have some family time. So
We will work on that.
Okay.
Anything else, sir?
that is it.
Todd, you are up.
Quiet.
All right.
It was fun doing the art, choosing the banners. Got to do both times. And that was nice.
All right. I got a couple things. I don't have a phone number right now. If you call my old phone, it will say it's been disconnected. I hope because I don't like the number I got, because it comes up Montrose or something like that. So I will work tonight and tomorrow on getting a phone number. As soon as I get a real phone number, I'll send that so we can get that published.
Just email.
Yeah, unfortunately, or WhatsApp.
Connected to your phone number though.
It's a separate account, so it doesn't, because I've gotten, no, it still worked. I got a call from my son. So I just want to mention that. So if somebody's trying to reach me, tries to call that number and then it's,
We all just thought you ghosted us.
yes. My number
I
got,
actually thought he was scamming. Like I thought it was a scam. Shannon
my
thought it
number
was a
got
scam.
hijacked. And all of a sudden, just tons of phone calls and people trying to break into accounts. I actually talked to the FCC, like freaking out a little bit, and they're like, nope, cut it off, get a new number. So I'll try to get that resolved in the next 24 to 48 hours. I swear I'm not trying to ignore everybody.
Enjoy the quiet.
I will do. Is Mary Elizabeth on the call?
No.
All right. With that, are you able to talk in terms of the temporary municipal judge?
Oh yeah. So we extended the offers to both judges, and both anticipate accepting. They're just looking over the independent contractor agreement right now, and then they'll work with our municipal court clerk on scheduling and going from there. So in a really good position with that. And then once we get them in place, we can move forward with the request for proposals for a permanent, both a permanent municipal judge, which council will select, and then also the associate judge, which will back up the municipal judge in his or her absence.
Right.
Yeah.
And we anticipate that should probably get wrapped up in the next 2 weeks in terms of the temporary.
The temporary, yes, yes. I'm pretty sure that we're all in agreement. They're just working with the municipal court clerk on scheduling and all of that. We may have to make a change to our municipal court days, but we will keep the public updated on that as well. Just due to scheduling conflicts, a lot of these judges, they actually work multiple places. So that could naturally lead to some scheduling conflicts, but we'll work all that out and make sure that we have continuity in the court.
Trying to think if I want to bring this thing up. Since
Well, now you
metro
have to.
districts. Okay. I was just thinking about I'm looking at Shannon.
No.
I was thinking actually, Rich, about what you said at the last workshop, which is in terms of where our focus should be. And I think we are doing fairly well on housing and kind of moving that forward, is kind of evidenced by some of what we heard tonight from Henry and those numbers. And then kind of balancing that with what we're hearing from the chamber and our own discussion in terms of focus. And I kind of like the thing of, I would rather spend our immediate efforts looking at on the commercial and business side more than the residential side. So I just want to bring that up. So because I know staff is kind of working on ideas to kind of kick.
You're
back.
referring to the metro district,
Yes.
special districts.
Yes. But in terms of ideas but making sure, I want to make sure all of council is comfortable with kind of shifting that focus to make sure we're focusing on more of the commercial side of things and how to work towards getting our arms wrapped around the idea of what we're looking for and the purpose of it before we do anything else. Okay.
Yeah. And we have notes from the last workshop, so we'll work on that, incorporate some of the feedback from council before it gets brought back to council at a later date, most likely early summer. Yeah.
Right. That's all I've got. Anybody got anything else?
I do. I'm sorry. I sent you that email. Was that spam about distribution list or not?
That was not spam. Yes. Yeah.
That's a real thing.
It is. Yeah. And that's when you're added to a distribution list. Those emails go out now. So that's.
What's it mean?
Oh, so.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. So it was an email just saying you've been added to this distribution list. So a distribution list is a shortcut to where we can email multiple people at a time. I've never seen that notice before you sent it to me, but it is a legit notice, but no action ever needs to be taken if you're added to a distribution list. It's just, yep.
Legitimate, not.
Yeah.
Somebody else got it, some resident in our
Oh.
community, and asked me. And I said, ask Katie, which she did. But I just wanted to make sure because and then I got it on my personal email, not my city email. So I just wanted to make sure we're all good. Yeah. Thank you. You responded to me, but you said, yes, I got it, which I didn't know if that meant yes, it's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All board members got the email. Yep. Yep.
Anything else? It's 8:29. We are adjourned.
That's the only difference. I mean, well, there are